Hello, I am Calorance, and as you can see, I'm going to be playing Medieval Dynasty. I've recorded this first episode a few times. I've had some problems with mics, and just to set the scene, I'm a total amateur at this. I've got a mid-range gaming laptop hooked up to a 43-inch TV. I am sat on my sofa, relaxing on my days off from work. So I decided to record this primarily because I want my friends to go and play it, but also I've got this on the PS5. I only discovered it a month ago. I'm new to survival games. I normally do sort of grand strategy, total war games and stuff like that. So I thought I'd do a bit of a tutorial. So I was looking for walkthroughs and couldn't really find what I was looking for. Being a complete noob to survival games as well, I felt like I needed more information. So I thought I'd do this anyway. So as far as settings go, I don't mess with any of these. My graphics are all set at high. As far as my setup goes, I've just got a mic next to me. The sound's coming through my TV, so I was getting echoes and stuff. So hopefully I've messed with thresholds and changed that. So hopefully this one will work now. So we'll do the Valley. I haven't even looked at Oxbow yet, because I've only got this on PC yesterday. In my PS5 game, I am on to year 6, so I've got a bit of a village going. So we can do a bit of a comparison as well. So what I found was the best length for me is 7 days, because I don't like to do it at night, because the way my setup is and my apartment, I get the sun through all my windows, which reflects off my TV, which means I can't see stuff at night. So that's one of the reasons I have 7 days, just so you can get everything done. And when you sleep in your bed, you gain health. So I changed that to 7 days. The only other thing I changed is fast crafting and fast building. Because if you don't, then doing like 1,000 flax, it takes ages to do. So there's a bit of an intro coming. So we'll get that out of the way and get into the world. And hopefully this echo has gone, because it was only when people were talking. I'll just let the intro play out and then we'll come into the world.
I used to have a simple life. Whatever needed doing round the farm, I'd do it. Being the eldest son, it's tough. But at least we had a living, and our plates were never empty. Then, the war came. I lost everything overnight. The last thing I remember is Father pushing me away, yelling for me to run, to live. At first, I didn't know what to do. Then, I remembered. A story my mother once told me. A story about my uncle, Jordan. He made a modest fortune up north, in a peaceful valley far away from the war. For weeks I held on to that thought, until the valley from my mother's stories. I could see it. This is where I can start a new life.
So there we go, there's the intro. So we're in this valley looking for our uncle. If you hear extra noises like me slurping my tea, yes, I am English and I drink copious amounts of tea. That's why this game is called Medieval Dynasty, because I'm English and I'm from the middle of England, near Birmingham, as English and British people will have realised by my accent. Unfortunately, you can't choose where you grow up. So I have that accent, there's nothing I can do about it. And here we are in the world. So I always change to third person, just the way I like it. So as you can see, it's quite a pretty world. Nice graphics, etc. So signposts, telling you where you can go. So first of all, we will look at the HUD. So at the top there, you can see that we have a compass. The exclamation point is our quest goal. You can see our quest in the right, at the right hand side there. Talk to the Castellan. Above the compass is a green tree, signifying that it's spring. Yellow tree is summer. Brown tree is autumn or fall, depending on where you're from. And white tree is winter. And then the semicircle is segmented into the number of days you've got. So for us, it'll be segmented into 7, so you can keep an eye on how far through the season you are. Bottom left, we have our health stats and such. So blue is water, orange is food, red is health, and green is stamina. I'll explain to you about food in just a sec. Food and health are different. The only thing in the right-hand side, at the bottom right corner, is you see that little hand. That's what you've got in your hands. So when your axe will show there and stuff, but we've got nothing at the minute. So if we just click into our inventory, that's a tab key. We've got our inventory, which is everything, and then you've got separate sub-menus for clothes and food and such. Difference between food and health. So food and water, they deplete through the day. So you have to keep eating and drinking. If they get down to 0, you start losing health. Now, health, when you get to 0, is death. So replenishing your food, you have dried meat, which you get plus 14 food, it's about 100. And these little buffs, less food consumption for sort of 10 minutes. That was only plus 5 on the PS5, and none of the buffs. Same with the oat roll, that's 90 food, so you let yourself deplete right down before you eat that. You don't want to eat it at 50% and waste that much food, especially in the early game. Now, I was saying about health. Health you get up by eating, so far, there are potions, but in the early game you're looking at broadleaf plantains, which give you 5 health. Daisies and dandelions also give you health back. So when you get with the physics, if a tree falls on you when you're chopping it down, you will lose health. If you attack an animal that fights back, such as a badger or a fox or anything above that, deers don't fight back, they just try and run. So you will need a good stash of broadleaf plantains, daisies and dandelions in your pack that don't actually weigh much. So we've got a carry weight of 35 kilos. We're currently carrying 6.1 kilos. Also included in that weight is what you're wearing. So that adds to your carry weight. When you get to that top of your carry weight, it gradually slows you down as you go above it, to a point where you can't walk anymore. At it'll be about 55 kilos. So you'll gradually slow down. Next, we have skills. As you do stuff, we'll get skill points, and that gives you little perks. There's a few perks that I feel are sort of essential, which we'll come to at the right time. Journal is where your quests are. So that's the only quest we've got, and you can highlight them. You can track and untrack the quest, which puts the exclamation point on your compass. Here's the map, so it's sort of that sized, which I sort of feel it's a bit bigger than the PlayStation. I may be wrong. I'm not sure. Obviously, we are there. That's where we're heading for the quest. It also tells you where your inhabitants are and where quests are, all your buildings when you have them. But it also tells you where all the wild animals hang out. So at the moment, it fills up as you go along the paths and across the land. It opens up. At the moment, we know that there's deer and badger in this area. Management is management of your settlement. Obviously, we've got nothing at the moment. Your settlement, you've got your dynasty reputation, taxes, which are paid every spring. And you are taxed on houses or any buildings and fields that you've got they will be taxed, and you have to go and pay the castellan every spring, or you start getting bad reputation. We're at the our development stage as Traveller because we can't do anything. 0 buildings, workers, and population of us. And then these are your demands. We've got no demands yet because we've got no one. Technology tree. As you get points, it opens up new buildings and such that you can do. And then the knowledge base is just an explanation of stuff, building management, tabs and stuff. So as you run along the paths, there are little loot crates that you find about the place. And there's one immediately here, which gives us a hat. Yeah, I'm still getting used to doing this on mouse and keyboard. Obviously, with a PlayStation controller, it's a bit different. So we have a copper sickle, which we use for chopping down our crops like grain and rye, for instance. So we've got rye there, which we can thresh when we get a barn, and we'll get rye grain from that. So we'll take all of that. Is there anything else? I mean, that's a pretty good stash, really, for the first cart that we found. We'll put the hat on because we are going to look spectacular in it. Look at that, that's beautiful. Look at that. The hat gives us +9 heat protection and +2 protection against the cold. PlayStation, it's higher than that. It's like +15 and +10. So as you're going along, obviously in the world, it tells you, we've just found an area where crows live. It's flashed up on the left there. To gather, you just go up to sticks, hold it, and you'll gather those sticks. We do need sticks and stones. Obviously, I said I've done this first part of the game a few times now because I keep messing it up. So I know that we need sticks and stones for the first quest that we get. Oh, there's a bird flying off. We couldn't kill it yet anyway. So, no big loss. There's a stone. Sometimes other resources are on top of what you want, so you'll have to pick that up first sometimes. So I said about the stamina, the green stamina bar depletes when you run, which is, I've got it to toggle. It's left shift, you can toggle it, or you can hold it down. You can change that in the menus. So that depletes your stamina, as you can see it going down there on the left. And jumping does the same, and swinging your axe and swinging the sickle for doing the crops. So it all reduces your stamina. When that gets to nothing, the screen starts to go black and you start breathing heavy. So here we come into Gostovia, which is our starter town. In here, a bit further in, you can buy cows, which are, the economy is a lot different. It's a lot more reduced than the PS5. I think a cow is about 4,000 or 5,000 on the PS5, and geese, I know geese for definite because I've bought some. I've got some on my PS5 game. Are 1,200 each, whereas there's 69 here. Well, that one's 105. So the geese cost more than the ganders. Okay, that's interesting. So we're coming to town. We are looking for the castellan, who is straight ahead of us. You can run into their houses. You can even wake them up if they're asleep. So here's Unigast, the man we've come to see. There's you have to have a bit of a chat with him, so I'll just read through it as quick as I can. Because it does tell you a bit of this, just to start you off with the story. So it's always their conversation at the bottom, and then our possible replies that we can click on. So those eyes, I didn't think I would see them again. One blue as the sky and the other black as a lump of coal. Oh, you're all right, you look like you've seen a ghost. Or that's funny, my grandmother. So we'll go for that. So you aren't one. Good. For a second now, I thought I lost it. Haha. Both your eyes. You look just like him. Sorry, you must have mistaken me for someone. I'm new in these parts, just arrived in the valley actually. My name is Rasamir. I'm Wanda's son, aren't you? Eordan's nephew. What, did you know my mother? Please, obviously, he knows your uncle. Not really, I knew of her. We didn't ever actually meet. He wanted to keep his families separate. I don't think I understand. You will. Wait. What do you mean by did? I know her. Is she well? I hope she's now, wherever that might be. I've lost both my parents in the war. Damn it, this world. I guess it can be as cruel as it is beautiful. I'm sorry, my boy. Nobody should lose their loved ones at such a young age. And you can reply with, it's okay, Dave died so I could live, and I plan to make the best of this life that I can in order to honour their sacrifice. Or you can say, yeah, I don't really want to talk about it. We'll go with the honourable thing. That's very mature of you. I'm sure, though, we're proud hearing that. You mentioned my Uncle Jordan. I actually came here looking for him. Oh, Rasamir, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Your Uncle Jordan is no longer with us. He passed away 3 years ago. I'm so sorry. I understand that how you must feel. He was a dear friend of mine. So that's it. I'm the only one. Or, oh no, that can't be. What happened? We'll go with that. Don't worry, he died peacefully in his sleep. He didn't suffer, I can promise you that. So what do I do now? You are free to go wherever you like and start a new life. I hereby grant you the permission of the Castellan to build and farm on any unutilised land in the valley. Construct yourself a house and see what comes next for you. You can even build a whole village if you please. There are many travellers passing through. Some of them might like to join your settlement. And just like that, I can take the land for free, of charge. Well, you'd have to pay taxes to the king annually, as I've said. But apart from that, you are free to do as you please, as long as you don't break the law, of course, or at least if you don't get caught doing so. Well, that sounds amazing. The valley looks beautiful as well. I think I'll stay here and see what fate has in store for me. I'm glad to hear that. You can find resources all over land, grab a few rocks and sticks from the ground and craft yourself a simple axe. With it, you can cut down trees and chop them into logs. Then you can create a wooden hammer that will be crucial in the building process. I'm sure you'll get the hang of it. So that's just outlined our first couple of quests there. When you build yourself a home, come back to Gostovia and talk to my wife. Dobrin, we'll call her Dobby. She manages the tavern. Ask her to feed you. You must be famished. And then grab some beers for us both and come back. I'll tell you some stories about Jordan. That sounds like a plan to me. So there we go. And you get the dingly-ding of quest success. So, first one is to make a stone axe. We've already got the sticks and stone. We already picked that up. It'll show us in our journal. So we've already got the sticks and stones. We just need to make the axe. Here is where like you said, the people passing through. If you hold down left Alt, that's inspection mode. You can see what they're. But obviously, as you can see, the green being inspection mode depletes your stamina. You can see what their skills are. He's pretty good. He's got three. The highest they can be when you first get them is 3s, and as they do stuff, they will improve. So not some not bad ones, but we've got nowhere for them to live or anything. So we can't invite anybody yet. We're way off that at the moment. So, like I said, there's resources all over the place. St. John's wort, have a stash of that because that gets rid of poison. I quite often accidentally eat a mushroom that poisons you because you like morels. Morels you can use for cooking, but if you accidentally click and eat it, it will do some poison damage, which comes up here. You need St. John's wort to get rid of the poison damage. So we found a lost shipment that's got 11 coins in it. A bit of money is always good. You start with 50, so we're now up to 61. And there's ducks on the lake. We can attack those, which we will be doing. So we'll head out this way. to where we're going to build our house, because after you've built us the axe, it tells you to come this way. We're going to need stone and sticks, so we'll just pick a few up. Usually lots of stone next to riverbanks. You've got fish in the river there. You can put a fishing hut over that area, which will get you whichever fish you've put it over. Ah, we've got another cart. How lovely. Let's see what's in this one. Another torch, always useful. Not that I do a lot at night, as I've said, but pear wine, we'll have that. And rye bread, we'll have that. Lovely. So rye bread's good for food. I think that's about 80. You get back. Is there anything else here? Oh, a stone axe. So now that's just shown us that we've now completed that quest, or that portion of that quest. So the next quest now is to build a wooden hammer, cut down 3 trees, and gather 32 straw. I'm collecting mushrooms because when things turn to rot, you turn them into fertilizer, which is what you need to sow your fields. So I always grab some just to start the rotting process, because we will need fertilizer. And up here we have a logging camp. Not usually this many loot boxes, where we find another axe, some mead, a couple of logs that'll save us cutting them down. Ooh, 3 tree saplings for our orchard. Brilliant. So we'll get apple trees from them and salted meat. And there's another one here. 3 bottles of mead. So we are above our level now, but we are very nearly at the area we want to be for building our house. Oh, I've not seen a cart here before. Potion of healing. Potion of strength. Potion of sobriety. Henbane, that's a herb. Something you can use for potions later on. It poisons you, but reduces your alcohol levels. So, 2 poisons. I've not picked up poison before. So I'm already seeing differences with the PC and what was that? Potion of night vision. Well, there you go. Not seen that. I didn't even know there was a potion of night vision. Lovely. Okay, so we're even slower now. So you can see that we are up to 43 kilos, so sort of 8 kilos above. It's halfway round, and we're sort of at a slow walk. So we need to cut down 3 trees. We'll just put our stone axe into our first slot. I like to have my hand-to-hand weapon, which an axe is good for, in slot 1, and my ranged weapon in slot 2, just for ease of access when you're fighting, because when things start attacking you, it's best to have easy access to your hand-to-hand weapon. So we'll dig them first 2 trees, make sure it doesn't fall on you. Okay, so that's the 3 trees cut down. We need to make a wooden hammer. So into the building wheel, which this is, use Q to get into it. Then you've got handcrafting tools, which each take resources to make. So you stick, your stone knife takes 5 sticks and two stone. Stone axe is 2 stone and 10 sticks. We want a wooden hammer, which is our building tool. So we only need 1. So it's 1 log and 10 sticks, which will give us a tick there. And we will, because we need to collect straw to finish that off. We will drop some stuff just here. That will allow us to walk a bit better. What else have we got that weighs? We'll drop the stone. So if we leave it here, it will be there when we get back. That stump will stop it rolling any further and not roll down the hill, which I found out when my logs ended up down here from up there. They just rolled. So reeds are what gives us straw for our thatched roof. As you see it counting up there, and when you run out of reeds in that little area, you'll start to drink, which it's always good to just top up, no matter how recently you've drunk. If you're next to water, it's best to top up, because you haven't got a water skin yet. Okay, we've just got a new survival level. Okay, we've got enough straw, so let's just go and spend that survival point. And we'll use it in 5 more experience gained from survival activities, just because it gets us up quicker. See the other ones we've got insensitive, which helps with temperature tolerance. I'll see how we go with that, because if we don't find better clothing, which is quite expensive to buy, we'll have to see how that looks towards winter. And I found out if it rains on the PS5, it doesn't really affect your temperature, whereas on the PC you start to get cold. So that's a consideration. Iron liver is 25% higher poisoning resistance. Survival sense, that is on your inspector mode. You see sticks, stones and mushrooms, feathers and herbs. In the hunting, there's a thing that a perk that lets you, where is it? Is it predator? No. Tracker. Tracking animals in the inspector mode, so you can see them on that inspector mode as well. It shows the animals. But the first one we'll get is prowler. There's less noise while sneaking, because when I've tried it previously, on the last start I did, because I messed it up, I couldn't get close to the rabbits. They were hearing us too early, or I could get even close enough. So let's go and continue with this. So we've got our quest now is to build our first house. So let's put our hammer into slot number 3 and select it. There we go. So we will put our first house about here. So I'm just going to do a road or path, because then we can line everything up. Because I don't like it being not lined up and square, because I'm a bit of a weirdo like that. So we'll just leave it. As you can see for the compass, it's just purely a north to south path that we can use for reference point for where we're placing things. So then we'll build our house. Come onto your building wheel. This is where all your buildings are. We can't do anything yet. Anything we can do at the moment is a house. We'll need experience, which you get from building. So as we build, it opens up more buildings. The next thing we'll open up a well shortly, which is there. So before we finish building the house, we will have opened up a well because we'll get the experience from it. So this is how you place your house. So we are in line with the path, back a bit just to give them, I like to give them a bit of a garden. We'll put a fence up. And there we go. So that might be a little bit too far back actually, but hey ho. Right, we need our stone. And we'll have those logs. And away we go. So for your first building, it does it all like this, but I've got fast building. I think after you've done the first building, it does it in one hit rather than having to stand there thwacking it. Okay, so we need more logs. Let's finish that off. That sort of framework we'll need logs for. So let's switch back to the hammer. There we go, we've got the framework. For our first home. So here we are, we've just started building our house. In these woods we have moose and deer. There you go, look, there's a moose. If we start encroaching too much, cutting down too many trees up to the wooded area, those animals will disappear. You're basically killing their habitat and they move on. But they are, here's a deer. They are a good source of a lot of meat when you kill those. So we don't want to frighten them off. So we'll try and do as little as we can encroaching. We've got that copse there. We'll have that until we get a woodshed, because the man collecting the wood doesn't cut down the trees. I don't know where he gets it from. As far as I'm aware, on the PS5, he doesn't cut down the trees. If you leave the stumps here, you can shovel. You can, if you build a shovel, you can dig them out and you get another log. But if you leave them, the trees grow back in 2 years, and they grow back to that size. So if I cut this one down in 2 years or eight seasons, that will reappear. So if you want to keep a wooded feel to your settlement, you can leave the stumps in and let the trees regrow. I will clear some of it. I'll clear up to sort of this line here, because I'll put fields here. I mean, on my PS5, on that hill there is where my chicken coop and my pigsty is. So as you can see, I've encroached quite far, and those disappeared. Those deer, I'd scared them off, killed their habitat. So I'm going to end this episode now. We'll continue building our house next time. So thanks for watching. Any comments, please do, on how I can improve these, whether the information's any good, if anybody's actually watching. I'm just having fun playing, sat on my sofa. Okay guys, take care, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.